almost at the finale. Almost. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. This is Asha Media TV. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Bienvenue. This is my little channel where I like to watch, react, and review a variety of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. And my name is Asha, if I didn't say it beforehand. I don't think I did. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be watching episode 13 of the first season of Superman and Lois, titled Failsafe. But before I get to pressing play on this episode, I do need to cover some basic stuff. So if you're new to my channel, please listen up and don't skip ahead. Number one, the first thing you should know is that this is a spoiler-filled reaction video. Spoilers ahead related to Superman and Lois. Spoilers ahead possibly related to any film and television property related to Superman. You never know what comes out of my mouth these days. So just letting you know, spoilers ahead. You've been warned. And number two, it is very possible you've come across older videos on my channel where I was showing video footage and clips, picture-in-picture type of reactions that I know a large portion of you are used to here on YouTube. Unfortunately, I no longer provide those kinds of reactions for very valid reasons. If you want to know all about that, you can check out this video right above my finger. In the meantime, though, what I do offer is a watch-along type of style. And if you want to know how that works, go to the description box and click on the timestamp titled Overview of my watch-along style, and there you'll get an explainer. And if a reaction style is not your cup of tea, I do offer an alternate version of my reaction with bonus content and extra perks that you can explore. Details about that is in the description box below. And lastly, because this is a comic book based property, here is my Normie disclaimer up there on the screen for you, and it just pretty much tells you that I'm what's considered a normie. So I'm only familiar to some degree, because I forget stuff here and there, but I'm only familiar with the mainstream aspects of Superman. I'm not familiar with the source material, such as the comic books, so it is possible and very likely that I'll misinterpret something in a scene or what thereof that could be related to the comics. And if you want to educate me on that, you are more than welcome to do so in the comments. Just take it easy though, and remember that I'm a normie, so please, courtesy and respect is greatly appreciated. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to press play on this episode 13. I am so excited. I'm so excited. If you've been watching my reactions since day one, you know that it's been quite a journey to reach this point of being absolutely in love with this show, to the point that I have squashed down all my fears and caution about Superman and Lois, especially that it's a CW show. Okay, I've squashed it away, and I'm just taking a leap of faith that the showrunners are going to impress me even more by giving me a fantastic season 1 of Superman and Lois and making this what I believe, and I don't think I'll be alone on it either, I think this will likely be the best superhero adaptation to television season 1 since The Flash season 1, or perhaps even, I was going to say Smallville. I know some people may count it, but this is about Superman. Smallville was about Smallville and Clark Kent, right? So I think it's fair to say that Superman and Lois could possibly be the best superhero introduction of a major superhero, right? I mean, the granddaddy of all superheroes. Yeah, it could be the staple season that I would hope every other studio out there, there's only one other I'm thinking of really, would follow as a model if they want the kind of praise that this show is getting so far, deservingly. Anyway, enough of that. We left off in episode 12 with Morgan Edge getting ready to do something bad. And Superman is back. He's been saved from Steel, or by Steel. John Henry Irons helped save Superman. And, yeah, that's all I need to know. So if you're ready to watch along with me, let's go. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to give you an overview as to one way out of 3 to which you can follow along with me in watching this episode. I'm working on a more official video that will break down all 3 ways to watch along with me, because there are other ways. But for now, until that video is ready, I'm going to show you, or tell you, more or less, how I go about following others who do the same watch along style and how you can do that too, okay? So the first thing you need to do is open up a whole new window and get access to the episode. So you may be likely getting access to it the same way I am, and that is through the CW's website. And so you'll go to CW, get to the episode, and then line yourself up right at the beginning, because that's normally where I always start. I don't skip the recap or anything like that, okay? So that's in one window. Then in a second window, not second browser, second window, you're going to open up this video and you're going to go to the description box, click on countdown to the start of my reaction, and then you're going to pause pretty much where I'm about to, well, you know what? Once you click on it, then pause it, okay? And then you're going to go back to your first window and you're going to minimize it or resize it for it to lay above the square box that you see on the screen of my YouTube video. All right, so once you have the screen just above it, you'll have my face right next to it. So it's an overlay of one screen onto another, okay? And then you will then press play on my video. And while you're listening to me get ready to count down, you get ready to press play at the same time that I say the word play. And then you watch along with me. Now, when it comes to pausing and rewinding, and of course playing, you'll get my vocal cue and as well as a visual cue. And when it comes to pausing, I pause for 3 reasons, just so you know. Number 1, buffering, lagging issues. Number 2, I almost went the 2. Number 2, it's to rewind somewhere in the episode. And number 3, which is the most common nowadays with all the shows I watch, it's mainly to have a commentary moment with you, let you know what's going on in my mind, you know, especially if it's something that's troubling or something that's exciting, what thereof. That's the main reason I'll pause. So sometimes a little bit abrupt, but I'm just letting you know to look out for that, okay? And also I've provided visual tools, which you'll see once you get to my reaction, to help you follow along. If for whatever reason you can't access the episode, the visual tools that you just have to keep your eyes glued onto will help you have some idea as to what I'm reacting to, especially if you've already seen the episode. Okay, so hopefully that's easy enough for you to follow along with. Now, as a reminder, I do offer an alternate version to my reactions to Superman and Lois with bonus content and extra stuff that you can explore. Details about that is in the description box below. But for now, if you're ready to follow along with the style that I've described, let's go. Hello, hello. All right, so I'm right at the beginning of the episode, 0000. Gonna get ready to count down to play. I'm not skipping any recaps. I like that stuff, and it's not spoilery when it comes to this show. So we're good to go. I like rhyming, huh? Unintentional most of the time. Okay, let's go. All right, count down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. I just want to know what Morgan Edge is going to do. Like, how could it be any worse than trying to zotify Soups? Oh, yeah, Leslie Lar. Oh, she might end up doing something. I just realized Leslie Lar kind of reminds me of, like, Mystique to Morgan Edge, who's like a Magneto. Falter at what, though? like wanting to take a pee break. God. What is going on? Jesus. Is he gonna do it? I don't think so. I doubt that. So he's probably going to keep the crystal for himself and maybe use it for something else. Kryptonian related. Pretty much. Cover stories, aka lying. Oh my gosh. That's what it's all about today, yeah? Changing the narrative. Yeah. Oh gosh, really? Jonathan, you gotta teach Jordan some game, man. Oh. She's back for seconds. She better not be playing no dumb games, though. Ugh. At that age, though. For some reason, I thought he was gone, though. Oh my gosh, this would be a great way for him to get a spin-off show. Maybe that's the whole point. Oh, and they did such a great setup for him, too. I'm on board for that. I'm on board. God knows we need more original Black characters. Oh, look at her go. Woo! But you don't know. She could have set him up, though. That looks hilarious. Ah. Wait till Edge is worked out first. I don't know if I believe that. This is so fake, though. Very green screen. But it's okay. Mm. The teenage storylines in this show. What can I do? I gotta just go through it. It isn't at all. This is so unfair to them. It's not like he deliberately went out of his way to hurt anyone. Ugh. But it's very accurate to the way people act today. A pamphlet? Sure. He's got a good point there. Tough choices. So it sounds like he's hearing voices. Did he take in all the Kryptonian entities within himself? Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to come back around to him. His last vulnerability. Two sides of one coin. Wow. Great performance. This Chrissy character is very annoying. Not a fan. Yes. Wow, everybody's losing their job in this episode. What is happening? So that's why you brought him out here. Yeah, I knew it. No, you don't. And then we're going to have an episode where Sarah's going to tell him, I told you so. I know. How could he not, though? Yes. At least think about it. It's like they're both right and they're both wrong on different, in my opinion, anyway. Really? That's true. That's who Lois is to Superman. Aw. Go for it. At least he's having a good time. Poor Jonathan. Jordan deserves it, though. He's been through a lot. Whoa. Oh. Listen, better it's cops than your parents. I don't believe that. I just feel he's up to something. Or he's hiding something. Okay, alright. Hence the title. Okay. Hopefully at some point, maybe season 3 or something, if we get that far, you know, he meets Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne holds onto a stockpile of kryptonite too. Aww. For his daughter. John's like, kid, get out of here. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, too. Oopsies. Okay, you can be more productive than that, Kyle. Do the dishes. Clean up. I'm not trying to make light of it. It's just... maybe I am a little bit. Oh my god, he just skipped class. Wow. Hmm. Ah. How are they in jail for hanging out at a creek? Smallville stuff, who knows? So their argument, I'm just going to pause since it's kind of a pause-worthy time right now. Okay, so I'm at, I think this is the right time, 2906. So what's your take on it? I'll just say my 2 cents. They're both right and wrong. I know it's kind of a cheap shot in that way, but I think, okay, if I had to make a choice, like, 51% over, I'm on Clark's side. Because considering the fact it's not just him alone, I'd understand if it was just he was the only Kryptonian and that was it. He's not. Morgan Edge, the redhead woman, Laura, whatever her name is, that's a lot already, right? So it would just it wouldn't make any sense for them to be that vulnerable to not have any form of defense. But where I do side with Lois to some degree is that I don't think there should be that, perhaps not so much of those weaponry, maybe just one major weapon, you know what I mean? And the way they're making it seem as if like other people can get their hands on it, well, let that be in and of itself what you need to figure out. How to protect the one weapon that can kill Superman. Perhaps it shouldn't be in the DOD's hands. Maybe it should be somewhere else or someone else's hands. Who knows? But to get rid of it completely doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. And then not even if Superman turns evil, what if he's just completely incapacitated? Right? What if he, God knows, something like that happens and then you're stuck with a Morgan Edge type person wrecking havoc, or any other Kryptonian that decides to land in this show at some point? Anyway, I'm siding more with Clark on that. That's where I stand for now. Let's continue. Find out what happened to these kids, how they got arrested for kissing in the creek, or wherever that was. Perhaps it was, I guess, restricted property or something like that. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, play. What? That's the dumbest thing ever. Lois needs to calm down a little bit, though. God forbid they did something worse. What a bastard! Tell him off, Lana. What a weasel, though. They're both angry. Hmm. So Lois, I think she might end up maybe printing something that will like wake up the town differently. Hmm. Ah, that's what I said. It needs to. John. John. Yes. Yes. And he's perfect for it too. It's so fitting and so perfect how they came around to this. It's awesome. But I still think Sam might keep a little secret contingency on his own. I would not be surprised. It kind of fits the character a little bit, you know? Just a bit. Mm. He found out as an adult. What is happening? Okay, so he abandoned his father's plan. And now... what is going on? Oh, Daddy's way is the only way now. So he has to die? For something? What the fuck? That's half of what I say when I watch the show. Sounded the same. Even Lois is trying to hide her smile. Hmm. Hey. Resolution? No. Edge? Did you get out? What is he doing? Oh boy. Okay. It's gonna bust. What? Okay, if this is comic book accurate, I had no idea what the hell it is. That was cool though. He's off planet. Oh my god. He's becoming the Eradicator? Like a living Eradicator? Oh my gosh! Whoa. Okay. Well, I'll say this much. If this is comic book accurate, you guys must be, or girls, whatever, you people must be freaking out if it's accurate. But for me, in my normie mind, I'm just like, huh? What just happened? What just happened? So, let me know in the comments what just happened. All right, takeaways coming up. This is the episode where I will willingly tell you that it sucks to be a normie. It does, because the whole end of the episode, the last like 10 minutes at best, completely went over my head. I have a feeling that it's very much comic book related. I can't see them making all that up, and if they did, oh my gosh, and if it's not related to the comics at all, pretty damn cool and very entertaining. So that's my first takeaway is the end overall. I don't understand what happened. Obviously, Morgan Edge has decided to do things his father's way that causes him to die somehow, because he said something about dying for something, and then become the Eradicator, and all these voices are in his head. I can only presume, based on what they've shown, that perhaps he's becoming an entity that encompasses all Kryptonians into one body, hence why Morgan Edge as a person is dead in that sense. So that's the only thing I could think of. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Please, this is where I implore you comic book nerds. I love ya. I love nerds. but this is where I need you to fill in the gaps for me. Or, of course, you can let me sit here and wait in suspense until episode 14 and 15. But I'm very curious to know what is going on with Morgan Edge. And my second takeaway from this episode, which kind of surprised me when I thought back on things and looked back at some of the clips again from this episode, and that was the realities of the situation with Lana and her husband. At first, it was a little like, okay, they were being alienated from the community. And if you watch my reaction in episode 12, I had made a quick comment that the somewhat, cancel culture-ish type behavior that is predominant in our society nowadays, and how they are executing it in this storyline with this whole situation with Lana and Kyle in a Smallville form, right? In a very small micro form here. I thought that was kind of it, but to see it elaborated to the degree it has in this episode and very well executed, where it still fits within the narrative of the stories with these characters and what they're going through, I was very impressed. The only thing now I'm just curious is like, okay, so Lana and Kyle, they're ostracized from the community. I'm presuming that the article that Lois has given Chrissy to write will be somewhat illuminating for the residents of Smallville to then change their minds, or have the narrative change their minds about Kyle and Lana. That's what I'm just going to presume. And then in the next episode, things will be okay and things will go back to normal. Because I can't see it going any other way than that, right? Lana is part of the story. It would be kind of weird to introduce Lana and Kyle and Sarah and everything and then have them like, oh, you know what? Smallville's not for us. We're moving to Metropolis. But hey, when it comes to this show, I wouldn't be surprised if they do decide to go that route for a different purpose. One way or the other, I liked how they've shown these real life type difficulties that happen to people in certain circumstances like this, that they've shown in this episode, that stemmed from, episode 11 to 12 to now. And so it's going to be quite fascinating how it all unfolds. And my last takeaway from this episode revolves around the main subject of this episode, titled Failsafe. And it's the whole conversation, really, because that's really what it was. Well, it started as a conversation and turned into a big, huge argument between Clark and Lois, and resolved itself, thankfully, with John Irons accepting the responsibility to be somewhat the gatekeeper, as Clark puts it, of the actual weaponry that can be used against Superman should it ever be needed. And I loved the way they went about it. They didn't make this an easy decision because it shouldn't be an easy decision. And if you were watching my reaction, I had a paused commentary after the big blow up between Lois and Clark, asking you, my viewer, whose side are you more on when it comes to the subject if there should be a weapon that puts down Superman if the need arises. And I had said, and I'm just going to repeat now in case you didn't watch my reaction, I had said I lean more towards Clark's perspective, not necessarily for Clark's sake, but for the sake of the fact that there are other Kryptonians on Earth at that time. It's not just him. We now have a Super Morgan Edge now that's turned into something else, right? And we also have Leslie Lahr out there as a Kryptonian. And who knows what other Kryptonian characters with malicious intent might come onto Earth. We need at least some kind of weapon. And so the way they went about it in this episode was just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Really raising the stakes, letting us as a viewer see both sides crystal clearly. And to add more emotional depth to it, I enjoyed so much that scene where Clark tells Lois how he felt when he had no inhibitions with his power when Zod took over his body. That was so important for Lois to know and understand, and for Clark as well to come to terms with that for himself and what it means. So with all of that, it just made perfect sense, especially with the way the character of John Henry Irons came about in this show. It just makes sense that he is the one who is going to be responsible for that failsafe. And as Clark said it himself, he came to Earth to stop Superman from hurting people, so who better than Steel himself to be the gatekeeper of the failsafe? So there you have it. That is my reaction and takeaways from episode 13 of Superman and Lois. If you enjoyed this video, the best way you can show me is by supporting this tiny little channel by following those 2 prompts you see there at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. I know you see them. I know you see them. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and let me know in the comments, would you be interested in watching a spin-off of John Henry Irons' Steel, right? Because I think so far everything they've shown of this character and now this alliance with Superman in tow, I can totally see a spin-off show with this character with their own stuff going on. I know I'm all for it. I've said it before in previous reactions, not necessarily in this show, but for other stuff that I watch that's comic book related. I'm one of the very few people, perhaps in the world, part of a very small minority of people that are interested in original Black characters getting a chance to be portrayed in live action rather than being spinned off from other characters that weren't originally Black. So that's just me. That's just me. But aside from that whole thing, would you be interested in watching a spin-off of this character? Let me know in the comment section. I'm really curious. And until episode 14, everyone, I'm tuning out. Peace. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.